Hola, Yuppie, everybody. Good evening. How's everyone doing tonight? I think I managed to get everything down on schedule for today. Can see the audio better if I have it over here. Yep, I think this will do. Okay. Now, microphone up in my mouth aside, I hope everyone is doing well and had a good day. Everyone had a pretty chill day today, for the most part. So, although it was strangely like was bright for a whole lot of the day. Like, something weird that I noticed definitely was the fact that the yes, Drandor, thank you for telling me to die the death. Not yet, I'm not old enough to die yet. Or maybe I never will. I want to strive for immortality. I'm glad that people are finding ways to use the Umineko voice blurbs, because I've been wanting to add some more, and that one just happened to be available on Blurb, so I was like, what if? Yuppie, hope you don't die today. Hello, Ferris Valor. And yes, I won't die the death. Yet. Not yet. If possible, possibly never. Might have to pursue the Dragon Balls to become immortal. And then I never have to worry about possibly encountering a great equalizer. Oh my god. Yes, that's me today after watching a few Hajime no Ippo episodes. Man, sometimes I hate being right. I don't know how many people here have watched Hajime no Ippo, but I was like, I had a gut feeling that a certain character wouldn't win their boxing match, and then I was exactly right, and I was like, god damn it! Can't I be wrong at least once in my life? And thus the Guts theme is fitting for that occasion. Was good episodes though, that I will say. Hajime no Ippo is a lot more enjoyable than I would have expected, because normally I'm not interested in sports anime. Most of the time I don't even like sports anime, as a matter of fact. Like, the only one I had watched and enjoyed was Haikyuu, and everything else was like, it exists for me, but I don't otherwise really care for sports anime. Although there's like a girls baseball anime that I want to watch someday. And I do have a little bit of a nostalgia soft spot for Oliver e Benji, even though I rarely remember how the show was. I remember that it took like a million years to go from one side to the other side of the soccer field, like fucking Christ. Kickers was also okay when I was young. But otherwise, I'm not really interested in most sports anime. And then my boyfriend was like, let's watch Hajime no Ippo. Because we finished the first season of Sailor Moon and we're like trading off animes that we're recommending to each other. And in my case, I gave him Sailor Moon to watch. So of course we watched together, right? So like for most of us, most of the animes that we choose tend to be a rewatch of sorts, while for the other it's like experiencing it for the first time. And initially I was like, yeah, okay, it's just an anime about boxing, but there's like one scene I know in GIF form that I'm excited to see. And then we started. We're like 5 episodes in, and I'm like, I love this already. And now we're like about 20 episodes in, I think, and I'm like, I love this shit. The Hajime no Ippo is the GOAT. I love it. It also has a very distinct art style, and I really like it. I'm always a fan of more like 80s, 90s. Actually, this one late 90s anime. And it's actually, art-wise, it's aged very well. Like, I will, while watching the episode, I was like, I could frame a bunch of these frames in my wall. Like, I wouldn't mind having a Hajime no Ippo cell in my collection. And I just realized I think I was painting on the wrong layer. Hey, yep. Okay, now it's the right layer. These sounds. Still need to watch that. I hear the matches get crazy. Also need to give Sailor Moon another go. I saw some episodes growing up and it stuck with me. Sailor Moon, now that I finished watching the first season, like as a rewatch, it has aged very well, the show. Of course, there are some episodes that did not age very well. But I was like, yeah, it's just anime being anime. That's okay. But otherwise, it has aged very well, and I think it still holds up very solidly. And Hajime no Ippo I can definitely recommend because I think it also aged very well. And as a newcomer, at least, I can say that the matches do in fact get crazy. Like, man, that... if all sports anime were like this, I think I'd be a sports anime enthusiast. Like, some of the matches in Hajime no Ippo legit are more intense than Dragon Ball fights. Just because of how they are choreographed and like the stakes and like the realism of it kind of gives it more of an edge over Dragon Ball. Like, it's not planets destroying or anything like that happening, but damn, the animation and everything around it just makes it like very worthwhile. Let's just say Hajime no Ippo knows how to make their matches extremely hype. I mainly know of Hajime no Ippo because of this one clip of the Dempsey roll. I think that's one I don't know. I did watch a Hajime no Ippo episode set with my older brother once because he was trying to convince me to watch Hajime no Ippo. So he showed me like allegedly one of the very best fights of the series without context. And I was impressed graphically, but I was like, I mean, I don't know these characters, so I'm not really invested in what's happening right now. And it was very intense and crazy, but I don't remember anything about it other than like 2 particular shots. But now that I'm watching the anime for real, I'm like, yo, this shit's so hype! This is so hype. It's so crazy. The only thing I knew about Hajime no Ippo beforehand, though, was the karaoke scene, but I don't know it with sound. I only know it in GIF form. Because it circulated on Tumblr one time, this GIF set of the Hajime no Ippo characters at the karaoke. And I was impressed with the animation. Or initially, I thought it was like a seinen anime. When I first saw that clip, I was like, it's probably some seinen anime OVA. And only later I was told that's from Hajime no Ippo, and I was like, wait, what? Really? From a shonen? But like I said, I don't know the scene. I don't know when it drops. I don't know the context. And I have never seen it with sound. So I'm going to see it someday. With sound, voice acting, and everything on top. And I think I'm going to absolutely lose my shit. Yes, thanks for laughing at my anime taste, Adachi. Oh, I can't wait until I have a better PC so I can play Yakuza 7 on stream. That's going to be such a blast. If when you get to that part, you will know this. Okay. Okay, I'll keep this in mind. The combination of emojis and the lip. That sounds like something that probably was legendary, so I'm pretty curious and excited about what that might be. Also, the opening bangs, the first one at least, I can say. If I had a good singing voice, I would deadass cover the song. But I'm not sure if my voice can take covering that song. And if it will sound good if I sing it. Alrighty. Maybe a single verse at least? Let's see. I think I have to run the song on the side just to be sure I'm on the right track. Cool. If I can find it somewhere. Openings. Oh, I can only find covers, so I'm going to have to open up YouTube. Although I try to avoid it during stream because apparently when my screen tablets run with on stream, it starts to hack up. Where are we? Hajime no Ippo unders. Okay, let me see. Is the desktop audio off? Yeah, good. Let me see if I have it right before I start singing off. Okay, yeah, I do remember it well. So I think the verse that I'm most invested in is the one towards the end, where it gets like, I want to dive lost on mind. I want to dive lost on mind. Why, I want to, fuck, I want to feeling. Oh, fuck. Shit, damn it. Hold on, again. Okay, I want to dive lost to mind. I want to dive lost to mind. Why, I want to dive feeling over. You say no, I got kimi ni. 一瞬を光を送ってる Yeah 永遠の夢を見て Rolling up. Oh my god, Jin, you distracted me for a second. I tried really hard to stay on track.
Congratulations! And I'm fine!
Thank you, Beato. Thank you very much for the encouragement. God damn, now the song is stuck in my head. I want to dive lost to mine. I want to dive lost to mine. Why, I want to die feeling over. God damn, 80s anime openings are too good. I'm not sure if I ever could cover Moonlight and Setsu, like the opening for Sailor Moon. I actually get that one tongue twisted way more. I think I trip less over Sailor Star Song, which is like the last opening for Sailor Moon, like the original anime, I mean, not like the current one. It's hard to get Moonlight Densetsu right, like damn. Damn, son. For some reason I trip on that one very much, and I don't know why. While for Sailor Star Song, I can get behind it a little bit easier. It's good music. Yes, it is. Any wonder they never replaced that song? No way they could top it. What, you mean Moonlight Densetsu? They did. They actually did replace Moonlight Densetsu in the final arc with Sailor Star Song, and it's very good, actually. Sailor Star Song bangs. I would even argue that Sailor Star Song is a better fitting song than Moonlight Densetsu, because Moonlight Densetsu is very obviously like focused on the miracle romance between Usagi and Mamoru. But the classic anime, while it has the whole miracle romance angle in it, I feel like it's also like very strongly focusing between the friendship between Usagi and the girls. And Sailor Star Song, I feel like captures the feel of Sailor Moon, like the classic Sailor Moon, a bit better, because it focuses more on a general thing. Like, it does go a little bit over the romantic stuff as well, but it also goes over like the friendships well, like the bonds that they made. I feel like Sailor Star Song is underrated. It should be. It's such a good song. I would say Sailor Star Songs is kind of like similar treatment, like how Dragon Ball had Chala for Z, and then switched to We Got a Power, which initially we'd be like, oh, but you can't replace Chala had Chala, like what's wrong with you? And then you hear We Got a Power, and then you're like, actually this actually is also banger. And eventually it grows on you. I feel like Sailor Star Song is kind of that, plus the fact that it encapsulates the spirit of Sailor Moon a little bit better. Moonlight Densetsu captures the spirit of Sailor Moon just as well. Like, I love Moonlight Legend a lot. I even love it more than Sailor Star Song, in spite of everything I just said. And I think a good reason why is because the versions of Moonlight Densetsu starting the third season, like the Sailor Moon S, gets a very good rendition, and while I'm like, hey, that's the shit, let's go. Oh man. Moonlight Densetsu still slaps, but I remember it for the romance. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I just wonder if they stayed on that for the entire run or if they became fully Dragon Ball. Well, Frilly Dragon Ball, we do have that, and that's called Pretty Cure. Pretty Cure is basically the Frilly Dragon Ball because, fun fact, for those who don't know, the first 3 Precure seasons were done by the majority of the team were all people who worked in Dragon Ball, which is why the first few seasons of Precure are extremely martial arts focused, like more punchy and less magic. You still have like death lasers, magic beams and shit, but the focus of Precure is much more on the physical combat area. So basically you can say Precure is the Frilly Dragon Ball. And I wholeheartedly recommend it. I love Precure. It's my favorite Magical Girl franchise by like a mile. I love Sailor Moon a lot, but Precure is like has my ass. It's like the perfect mixture for me because I grew up with both Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball. So Precure was like, what if we just fuse those two together? And I was like, I was like, holy shit, fuck yeah! At quote Precure has my ass. I don't have this command on Boobot yet. I have to figure it out, but I'll take notes. I have that feeling with regional dub of Dragon Ball that I watched growing up. They adapted the classic music for the opening, so I got to hear Chala Het Chala, and we got a power in my language. Oh, that's the best. That's always the best. In Portugal, we had our own openings. If I understood right, they were adapted from the French ones. But I've never verified that. I only know we had an extremely cheesy opening with cinematic graphics that only span between the Saiyan Saga and the Namek Saga. So if you were like in the Cell Saga and hadn't seen Dragon Ball before and saw the opening cinematic, you would see none of the characters except Goku and Vegeta and Krillin in the other sagas. And God forbid you were in the Buu Saga when you saw the opening. Because only Goku and Vegeta... No, fuck that, not even Vegeta looks the same. The Portuguese didn't have enough money for more. And we had that. We had that. Oh, Portuguese Genie was the best thing that humanity has ever produced. I've said this in a previous stream, but if Portuguese Dragon Ball ever becomes lost media, humanity is beyond saving. Like, don't even bother trying to fly to Mars. If you can't preserve Portuguese Dragon Ball, humanity is not worth saving. And if I were rich, I would have people, I would single-handedly go to Portugal, buy the license, make my own studio, and put Dragon Ball back on TV. Because for some reason they removed it. I'm going to... Because apparently there's been some politics stuff happening and they removed nearly every single anime from TV. And I'm like, how the fuck dare you remove our national treasure from TV? I would buy it. I would have it like, what's it called? A lot of animes are getting like these HD Blu-ray remakes, right? I would do the same for Dragon Ball. but in Portuguese. And I would make it pay so that we have every single episode subbed so that the English crowd can understand what the fuck is happening. I'm very passionate about the Dragon Ball English dub. Sorry, Portuguese dub. Don't even. Awesome. Now I want to watch that. You should. Masako X did like a video about it. So there's like some clips that are subbed, and he also goes over the history of why Dragon Ball in Portugal was the way it was, while sprinkling funny sub clips in between the video. I definitely recommend it. He made like a follow-up video, so it's a two-parter. You like every Dragon Ball fan needs to watch that video just to see how crazy the dub is, because a lot of the jokes and all get lost in the fact that not many people speak Portuguese, right? Portuguese shares roots with Spanish, so I might be able to understand a few things about it. Oh, in that case, be my guest, watch the whole thing. There's actually some things in the Dragon Ball dub I did not watch yet. Well, did not watch yet. For example, the movies I didn't see in Portuguese yet. I've only seen them in English and Japanese. The majority of the time I've only seen them in English because for some reason I couldn't find the Japanese versions when I was younger. I only found the English versions on YouTube. And the dubs were okay, but you know, the music replacement is like... I know a lot of people like Bruce Faulconer music, and there's like some Bruce Faulconer tracks that I do like the Final Flash theme. The Cells theme stuck to my head. But I didn't like the opening, right? But otherwise, since Portugal had the original OST, like one of my biggest pet peeves in dub stuff is when people who change the OST. I'm always like, what? How dare you? How dare you? You are removing a quintessential vibe of like the whole experience. Like the whole quality, vibe, and all of an anime can change drastically just by changing the OST. And I suppose I don't know how the what's it called? The music for Sailor Moon in the English dub was like. Thankfully, all versions that I've seen of Sailor Moon use the original soundtrack. For Dragon Ball, I think Bruce Faulconer's OST was okay. But I would definitely say I like the original OST more. But that might be just because I've seen a lot of English Dragon Ball dub when I was younger. Simply by virtue of it being like the only thing that was on YouTube in 3 parts, aside of like in Espanol. Still trying to figure out who Olya Bang is, though. Olya Bang just means look, like take a look, right? Now, the one who says it is Captain Ginyu. That is Ginyu in the Portuguese dub. And he's like my favorite thing ever made in the dub. Like, whoever was the genius who thought of that, I'm like, I love you, and I hope in every form of life that you have the best possible life that you can live in. Like, if rebirth is a thing, I hope you are continuously reborn in the best possible life. That's how much the Portuguese Ginyu voice is, like, good to me. Also, I never thought about this, but the guy who spent days, weeks, potentially months doing Ginyu's Portuguese voice, I'm like, man, I hope your vocal cords are okay. I agree that music is super important for the vibe, though. Yes, absolutely. I do have some 4Kids anime still softly in my heart, because at some point Germany started taking 4Kids dubs rather than make their own. But I'm also not gonna lie. Most of the 4Kids dub OST is so generic and forgettable. You're like, hey man, what is this? Like, for some reason, like, Bruce Falconer was probably one of the very few people where I would say I know him by name and I can distinguish his tracks. So that's probably better than most dub OSTs. Like, all other OSTs from dubs, I'm like, I don't remember any track. Any. Except maybe, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening, the Shaman King opening, and some of the Shaman King tracks I do remember just because they were, like, 2-second loops. But the Yu-Gi-Oh! OST had like the whole Egyptian god cards theme, and I think that one was somewhat to be remembered, but everything else I'm like, I don't even remember how it sounds like. Whereas with Bruce Falconer, I can say, when I at least I can say, okay, that's his music. I can remember this. And that's, for me, at least better than replacing it with a forgettable soundtrack. At least Bruce Falconer tried, you know? Shaman King was awesome. Like, the original anime was pretty awesome, even though it butchered some stuff, but it had a lot of heart, and I still really like it. The manga? Pretty banger too. The original only. The sequels are like, please stop. Enough. No more. They're not good. They're not that good, but the original Shaman King manga and the original anime, good stuff. The remake anime, it's alright. But if someone will ask me, would I watch Shaman King? I would be like, no, just read the manga. Or like, watch the original anime and then read the manga. Up to you. And if they ask, but should I watch the remake? I would be like, no. Just don't. Don't do that. That's like if you were going to watch Berserk. Like the CGI one. It's not as bad as a decision as that, I guess, but I would put it somewhere in the same level. Like, for example, for Sailor Moon Crystal, I can tell people don't watch it at all, even though I feel like it's an even vastly inferior version of the manga, and I'm already made my opinions clear about the manga. I don't really enjoy it. I felt like it was boring. But I can understand the appeal of the manga and Sailor Moon Crystal, you know? It's like more serious, more fast-paced, and I know some people don't like the slower pace that Sailor Moon has, right? So in that case, I'm like, if you prefer a faster plot, then sure, you can try Crystal. Although I would say just read the manga, like at least until before you get to season 2 or 3, where Crystal finally had a budget, at least for a bit, allegedly in the next 2 movies in Eternal and potentially Cosmos. I hope not in Cosmos. That they didn't really have a budget anymore. But at least the few things I've seen from season 3 of Sailor Moon Crystal, there is some love there, even if the art style is pretty generic. But at least the animation is good. Oof, that's a shame. I was looking forward to the remake. I mean, you can still watch the remake, but I will say they fumble really hard on the ending. Like, towards the last 10 episodes... Oh, sorry, towards the last 20 episodes, they start rushing it in by... like, so hard... you don't have room to breathe even for 2 seconds. And some stuff gets skipped over altogether, or like cut down. Some scenes were, for example, shortened. Some reaction panels were removed, even though it just gave it a little more personality. They somehow managed to rush the plant arc even more than the manga already did. And the manga was like on a death grip. It needed to be rushed the way it was. And instead of like on expanding on that arc, they just rushed it even more. And I was like, what the fuck? I feel like the part where the remake could have compensated over the manga so well was exactly in this arc, and they decided to skip it. And they removed an extremely crucial chapter and crammed it in like the last 5 minutes of the last episode, and I was like, fuck off. Fuck off. It's one of those cases where I'm like, I don't understand how it was that easy how they fumbled it this bad. And I want to find the executive that decided 51 episodes was enough for 300 chapters. I was 300 plus, right? And technically it's 301 chapters. Because, like I said, this extra chapter, which is called Mappa Doji, is so extremely crucial to the plot. And they crammed, like, they summarized that extremely important chapter in just 1 minute. Like, less than a minute. And that chapter is so important because it explains Hao's beginnings and motivations. You can't skip Mappa Doji. That's like the whole ending doesn't work if you skip it. And they did that, and I was like, wow, thanks. Thanks for that. I'd rather they just stopped the anime like midway through, where it was still decently paced. Also, the budget is like mediocre. The still frames, great, fantastic. There are some shots that are pretty cool, but then you can kind of tell their budget was like on like shoestrings. They had a shoestrings budget, so it was like, well then. But that's great, isn't it? Oh wow, I'd be pissed if I saw that on release. Yeah, I was really pissed on some chapters. Like, I started getting pissed at the anime when they fumbled the introduction chapter of one of my favorite characters. They rushed it so bad, and I was like, I can't believe I am praising the original anime on the characterization of Lizergue. I can't believe it. Like, that was the weakest point of the original anime. It fucked with his character so bad. I still have a soft spot for him in the original anime because that's the first version of the story that I like was exposed to before I read the manga and like really fell in love with it. And with like several of the characters there. But like the original anime has a lot of heart, like I said. But one of the things, the thing that they fumbled extremely hard on was Berserk's character. And the X-Laws, obviously, but they didn't know the plot twist. They didn't know the plot twist about them. So I don't blame them. They kind of work as villains, sure, but that's not the point of their character, so I'm like, I didn't like the X-Laws in the anime that much, in the original. But at least they worked. And the introduction chapter of Lizergue was like one I was waiting. Like, let's see, how old was I when I first saw Shaman King and read it? I think I first read Shaman King when I was 12. So the anime I had watched, I would think I was like 11. So I already liked it then. However, I only started reading at 12, which means I was waiting. When did I watch that episode? 2020, I guess? 2020, I believe. I was 25 at the time, I think. So, yeah, I was waiting 13 years for that chapter to be animated decently and voiced And they fucked it. They fucked it up. And I was so, my boyfriend was next to me when this episode was airing, right? He watched it with me on release, and he saw me fuming visibly when that episode released. I was like, I'm really angry right now. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me kind of mood. It was especially infuriating because the previous chapter of the previous episode ended with with a very good shot. One of the shots in the remake where I would say it shows that some part of the team was trying, you know? And where I would say that shot was actually good. It was good, it had good coloring, the voice acting was fantastic. There was some animation fuckery in there, yes, but it's acceptable. And then the next episode, they fuck up with Lizek so much, and I'm like, I can't. Oh, I see what's going on. There's a favoritism issue going on. Like, you put all the budget in How, but fuck everybody else, right? And I was so mad. I was so angry. They started to like pick up the pace when the tournament first started. Like, I mean, pick up the pace. I mean, like, they started like pacing the episodes better when the tournament starts. Like the second part. I was actually thinking, oh nice, the anime's pacing is actually getting better. The budget is a little bit better. They're actually putting some motion in the fights and not being like slideshow PowerPoint fights, you know? That was my biggest issue with Shaman King. The remake, it was like the fights were just PowerPoint battles, and I was like, I can do that. I literally can do that on an afternoon, like, what the fuck? And then the middle, like I said, the start of the tournament at least put some animation in there, put some effort in them, and I was like starting to get hope that it was going to get better. From here, I was like, oh, nice! The pacing is actually good. And I still remember, my boyfriend doesn't remember, and I think he wants to delete it from his mind. But there was one episode where my boyfriend was actually starting to get hype. And that, I think, was where I thought the remake was at its best. And then we come to the Ozores en Revoir, which is right after certain things happen with Ren in the tournaments, where I think the episodes were pretty well done. They actually added more stuff in, and I was like, oh wow, the anime is actually adding stuff in to make the scene even better. Like, I'm not going to elaborate just so that I don't spoil anybody. And then they do the Ozores en Revoir arc. The budget existed. It was there. Allegedly, they wanted to make it a movie, from what I hear. And they also, like, showed the whole arc on a street show. You can kinda tell that they tried in that arc, because they actually paced it well. If they fucked up Ozores en Revoir, I would have just dropped the anime then and there. I would have been like, no, enough. Because Ozores en Revoir is like my favorite arc from Shaman King. I don't know why, I just really like it. I really liked it, and I had heard like the drama CDs based on it, and I thought this was so good, so well voiced. And it's like, I like Ozores en Revoir as well because it's the only arc where I don't dislike Anna. And like based on the manga, right? I think the Anna from the classical anime kinda works. But yeah, They had paced it well, and then starting from there, they suddenly, it felt like they just didn't care anymore. That they suddenly realized, fuck, we only have like 20 episodes left for like 150 chapters, and then they fucked it up. They spent like the arc from the manga. I thought was the least sensical arc, and the one that was the least unnecessary. Like, where I personally said that's where the manga was at its absolute worst. It has like some gems in it, yes, but I personally felt like that arc was just unnecessarily long. It was out of nowhere and for no reason. Like, it made no sense. And they decided to take their sweet time with that arc, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? The one time where it could have rushed through an arc is the time where you don't rush through an arc? And then the arc where they could have taken their time, in which I would say was the plant arc, which was the final arc. I say the plant arc, for it to work well, or for it to have done better, was it needed like 10, 15 episodes, like at minimum 10 episodes. 11, sorry. For it to be most ideal, I would say even 12. Like, one episode for each patch character, and the character they're fighting with, right? Each patch gets one full episode, gets a little bit of their backstory expanded and their character. Some other characters get a better chance to shine and blah blah blah, and you get to do some cool shit. It's like, come on, it's the final arc, some shit needs to happen. I want to, like, some fighting needs to happen. Especially if the whole damn story was building up to this event, these fights, right? The characters have been training so that they go through the plants to fight all the patch tribe. Like, these people who don't do anything other than test the shamans, who have like mysterious who have elusive backstories, and you don't know their powers and shit, right? And they're like the true obstacle, you know? And then they're like, nah. The fights either don't even happen, like in the manga. In the manga, they also skip through the fights, which was kinda, wow, thanks. But you kinda understand, because Take was like, had like a gun on his head, right? He only got a few episodes to finish the manga, and that was like his last chance to finish Shaman King. So in that sense, I'm okay with how the plant arc is in the manga, even though it's incredibly rushed and just skips through the fights. You kind of just understand, because it was do or die, and it was only this amount, so he did the best he could. Now, the anime doesn't have such an excuse. The Shaman King manga concluded in 2010, somewhere in the 2010s. The remake came out 10 years later, and they had so much material to work with. And they fuck up that arc. How do you fuck up the climax arc? Like, what the fuck? That is like the arc where everything culminates. Like, where you have the culmination of the whole plot and shit, right? And character arcs. Especially Horo's arc, which finally gets like exposed in the final arc, right? But no! The manga was like... Sorry, the remake was like, ah, fuck that. Fuck that shit. We're also gonna cut out Mappadoji, which also fucks up the ending even more. Anyway, as you can tell, I'm salty about about the Shaman King remake. But if you want to watch it, go ahead. I just say, for the love of God, please read the manga. You can like read the manga and watch the anime together if you want to. If you want to like see some of the scenes animated and voiced, go ahead. But otherwise, I'm like, just don't know. Just read the manga. Choose drinking. Yes. Yes, that is a good way to cap off the Shaman King discussion. There are still things that I appreciate the remake for existing because I did get some stuff out of it. I met a lot of new friends thanks to it. And I was able to rekindle one of my OCs that I love very much and finally give her a story, personality development, and everything that finally feels right to me. So in that sense, I'm glad the remake exists. Because maybe it wasn't about the quality of the remake. Maybe it was the friends we made along the way. Oops. Accidentally switched the selection mode. Stretch posters, I can stay hydrated. Thank you for the redeems on those. I will stretch and take a sip and hydrate. There we go. About to get that care package myself, so alert. But it'd be nice to hear about that renewed passion when I get back. Of course, sure. I can gladly talk about it. Hope you get that care package safely. Ugh, I wanted to see a preview a bit better. And we burned out the background because then I can have a better grasp about what's going on here. Damn, I definitely need to take another sip before I start talking about these new passions. I'm actually kind of low-key self-conscious talking when I have to actually, like, talk about OC stuff. But, like, writing? Easy. But when it comes to actually, like, using my voice to talk about my OCs, I'm always like, god damn, I feel like I kind of sound cringe. But before we get to that... Ah! Oh no! Whoopsies, I didn't want to do that. I nearly closed this whole thing. That would have been a problem. I might actually pour some more tea from myself. Okay, tea has been brought over safely. I'm thinking about someday to do something like a let's make an OC kind of mini series of videos, maybe, where I just design a character for a specific series. And maybe something like introducing OC's mini-series with videos, but that's something that I'm just pondering, debating for myself. I'll see. But I think given my content as both a VTuber and as an artist and as a video creator, it makes sense to make that, to like somewhat unify the content somewhat more. I think it wouldn't be bad, the idea. I think I should get my PC 98 references on the side. Here. Although I can't have that much on this monitor. There it is. Ah, speaking of the monitor, there's like an update that I have. Like I bought a new monitor, or more like I got money for an early birthday gift from my dad. Like I'm going to, like I said, I wanted a new monitor, but I would rather buy it myself so that I can like mark it on the taxes, right? So my dad sent me money as a birthday gift, which is like next week, but he gave it to me in advance so I could order it. And I finally can upgrade my main PC. Sorry, not my main PC, my main monitor. My main monitor is just like this old ass Samsung TV. And I'm getting an Asus ProArt. It's a little bit smaller than my current monitor. It's going to be 24 inches instead of like 27. But I did apparently research that for some reason 24-inch monitors on 1080p it tends to be better because it has a better pixel density, and that becomes somewhat of a crucial thing with graphic design stuff, so it's kind of cool. I'm pretty excited for it when it arrives here, to have like my first pro monitor. For now, I only got like one because I want to see if I like it and if it suits my capabilities for everything else I need for like streaming, for work, future work, and everything else that I might need. That said, the PC saving fund is still going. If I'm lucky, due to some circumstances, I might, and I empathize, only the might get the money sooner. But I'm starting to gear up for more and more on the freelancing side of things. So, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I'm going to open my commissions way sooner than I intended. Like sometime in March, I would say. Maybe even in February, if everything goes well. But I think I might just do it in March. And that plus donations is going to be like my main drive to get the new PC. I'm still so I'm so like fixated on getting this new PC, you know? I'm like, oh, I need it because there are some games I want to stream, you know? Like I really want to stream some Ryuga Gotoku games so bad. I want to stream some Yakuza 0. Like, not only Yakuza 0, right? I want to stream like Judgment and Yakuza 7 and so on. But I thought for starters, I would start with 0, like on a replay of 0, before I get to the more saucier Yakuza 7. For Yakuza 7, I actually even have a special kind of replay done, so I wanted to play Yakuza 0 to see how well a new PC and setup would fare with capturing on a PS4. Possibly even on a better PC, even. I'm going to fix this part. I think I'll just leave it like this. No! Okay, there we go. I was thinking to myself how, oh, I'll surely have this done by tonight. But I keep forgetting that pixel art takes me way longer than everything else. So much so that I'm thinking of going back to my commission sheet that I have up at the moment and rewrite it into and like rewrite my pixel art prices, because I definitely need to increase them. They're like even more time consuming than anything else I do. Oh, if I'm lucky, maybe even my new monitor arrives sometime this week. I ordered it like sometime today. And then I can show it off. I've really gotten into making like reels and TikToks, and I'm like, I think with this I can gear some more publicity for myself. I noticed nowadays that most content algorithms are geared towards small videos, so might as well get into the trends, right? So there's some I have definitely planned. I have one overdue. Like, I wanted to make a mini video of the croissant meme, but I still haven't finished it. Because other stuff got in the way. Maybe I should finish it tomorrow. I actually wanted to finish my Valentine's picture tomorrow so that I have at latest on Thursday, so that I'd have everything prepared for then. Because next week, this week I'm getting visitors, like my mom is visiting. So I need to get a backlog ready so that for next week I don't really have to post or do anything on last minute. Yeah, that's better. Good idea on the backlog. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have a backlog ready. I don't have that much to post, so it's possible I won't have a backlog for next week. But I hope at least the Valentine's Day I manage to finish. like the Valentine's Day pick. And this tiny comic that I am actually long overdue in finishing. Oops, I got the wrong color. No, it's the right one. I had the impression I got the wrong color for some reason. Oh well, it's actually the right one. Just came back to... welcome back, Paris. I forgot to tell you that before, sorry. I'm very focused on the art. I'm very focused on the art, and I had run out of things to say about. But yeah, since you were asking about this like rekindled passion, pretty much what I can say is that one of my very oldest OCs that I had was my Shaman King OC, Yuri. Previously, she went through 2 name changes. Like, I think her first name was Yuko, and then I changed it to Yuri, and then I eventually changed it to Yuri, which is like, not like the Japanese Yuri, but like the Slavic version of the name. I don't remember what nationality she had when I first made her. But I can say the first versions of Yuri were like a very like idealized self-insert of myself when I was younger. But eventually she became her own character. She became very much her own character, and I think I tried to revamp her like 3 times. But never really like landed a character like a proper backstory, skills, abilities, and like that really fit or team that I felt like fit her. I couldn't think of anything. But the only constant that I had for Yuri was just that she had this massive crush on Lizerge, and that eventually they do get together and shit. Because I had a massive crush on him when I was younger, which, like, to no surprise. But while I don't really use Yuri as a self-insert anymore, she became her own OC. I still have a soft spot for that ship. And like I said, for nationality, I didn't know. I didn't know properly who her teammates were going to be. I didn't even know properly who her spirit would be. I think her first weapon was like a scythe, and I think the theming of her original ghost that I gave her still kind of maintains. It's just that it shifted focus on the weapons and where exactly it would go. Eventually I made her like, I think half Portuguese and half Brazilian, but like with Slavic roots. Like I imagined one of her parents to be like from a Slavic family, like maybe they're like half Slavic and half Portuguese or something like that. Or just have like a Slavic part of the family, like maybe uncle, aunt or something. It was more or less my excuse to keep Yuri's name as it is, because previously the Yuri was in fact the Japanese edition. But I liked her name too much to change it, so eventually I discovered that Yuri is also an European Slavic name, so I just made it a Slavic rendition of the name. And because she was going to be European to begin with, it fit. Eventually, with this newfound passion of Shaman King, I finally had the ideas how to make her team and storyline, and thus I did. Like, in spite of my complaints about the Shaman King remake, it did kind of help me refresh the story a little bit and how to write Yuri's backstory a little bit, and from her teammates. And I ended up joining the Shaman King server, and we had like an OC channel in there. I think we still have it. And I made friends with a bunch of these people in the server. And we have like an additional server, which is like the main server that we use to like talk about our OCs for Shaman King, and sometimes even roleplay and shit. And write like scenarios together with our characters and the characters that they main. So basically that's where my newfound Shaman King passions really lie. And why I appreciate the remake anime for existing, even though I have complaints about it and can get very passionate about it. At the end of the day, I'm still happy it exists because, like I said, at the end of the day, it was the friends we made along the way, the friends I made along the way in the whole Shaman King fandom, and the like the whole Shaman King fandom as a whole is very chill, and I like that. Like, unlike most fandoms that I know, I haven't really been in a fandom other than like maybe I'm somewhat in the Freedom Planet fandom. I wouldn't consider myself to be in the fandom, at least not anymore, because the main content that I make for Freedom Planet is not really the main kind of content most fans are expecting. Like, yes, I can see some fans do appreciate my fan content with my fan character in Freedom Planet and like the fan fic that I'm want to write with Dale and whatnot, but it's not really the main point of interest, is what I'm saying, of the fandom. And I don't really interact with the fandom anymore. If there's like, I made very good friends. Like, my current friend circle is all from this fandom. Like, mainly from Freedom Planet fandom, who mostly have left. the fandom for their own, for other interests and the like, which is fine. We still regularly talk to each other. But I met them all through here. I made friends with several people, like even staff members who I'm very happy to be friends with. I suppose they're the real fandom for me. The staff is like the real fandom for me. Them and... So yeah, Freedom Planet fandom is the one I got kinda involved in, I would say. I wouldn't say that much. But it was at least more than the majority of other fandoms I've been. Then I suppose Samsho fandom I've been into a little. I mean, I wouldn't even say I was into Samsho fandom because I was very alone with my content. And I didn't really find other artists. I was a bit more self-conscious with my content in Samsho, but the Samsho community does like my content, so I guess maybe I can say Samsho community in this case. So, that's what we have, and then, hold up. And then, let's see. Shaman King fandom, Freedom Planet fandom. The Danganronpa fandom, I've been like 5-foot pole away from them. Yeah, I would say the current main fandoms that I was part of from my memory was that was Freedom Planet for a kinda, sorta. And Samsho, kinda. But otherwise, I do observe fandoms a lot, and Shaman King fandom is surprisingly chill because most fandoms I know nowadays are kind of volatile, you know, are kind of like a danger zone. At least that's the impression I get. A lot of anime fandoms feel like you're stepping on a minefield. Like, I'm very hesitant getting into Umineko fandom at the moment because the majority of comments I got in Umineko were mostly positive, but I also noticed that typical anime, stereotypical anime fan behavior where like everyone feels like they need to explain to me how Umineko actually works, as if I don't have reading comprehension. I don't want to use the word mansplaining, but it's kind of how it feels like sometimes. And it feels like they also have the whole old, kind of dated 2010s humor, which like borders into offensive. So yeah, I'm hesitant on that area, on getting more involved with Umineko fandom. Because either you get the extremely volatile fandom that wants everything to be pure and correct and babied and everything, which also means the majority is also like dominated by minors, which is fine. It's fine. Minors deserve to have their space to engage in the things that they enjoy while feeling fun and safe. But as an adult, I don't want to be there, you know? I don't want to be interacting with other minors. I want to be interacting with other adults, is what I'm saying. And the majority of fandoms nowadays feel like you are either stepping into the frat boy anime attitudes or the mostly minors dominating field where you are like, I'm glad these kids are having fun, but boy do I not want to make connections with them. Not because they're like danger or anything, but it's more like I'm more comfortable talking to adults. I hope I made sense in a way that I think that's kind of why I like the FGC. I like interacting with the FGC, even though a lot of the FGC people can be a bit frat boy-ish, but yeah, what do you want to do? It's the internet and gamer culture. Not much you can do there, but I do feel kind of comfy in the FGC for most part, because when you go to local events, thus far I never had like a poor experience. On the contrary, I had like a very good experience in locals, and that's a huge reason why I like the FGC very much. I would even say a lot of the fuckery you see online in fighting games is not really a good representative of like the fighting game community as a whole. At least from my experience, is what I would say. I'm probably not like, aside of being like a cisgender woman, I don't really have like a visible minority that might get me in trouble, but thus far, at least in my region where I was, in our circle, thus far we've been very chill people and very accepting. And I say like I'm not like a visible minority because the only thing I would say that's like not really from privileged class, I guess, would be that I'm kind of disabled. Hello. And that I'm in the autism spectrum and have mental disabilities. But it's not really visible. You know what I mean? So for most people, me being in the autism spectrum manifests more as me being quirky rather than, oh, you are visibly an autist. You know what I mean? Hi. Oh, hi, Tsuki. How you doing? Oh god, my reference window was blocking out the text, so I didn't see you until just now. Wow. But yeah, I hope you've been having a good day, Tsuki. How you doing? I was just talking about about Shaman King again, and I was mentioning the server in particular, like an aspect that I'm happy about why the remake exists is because it rekindled my passion for Shaman King, and I met a lot of good people thanks to the server that you eventually like invited me into. And I was like naming it as an example of a fandom in which I feel like it's chiller than others that I've seen. Oh no, I will wonder you like all DHD posts, my AU pal. Yeah, I saw you were like sharing a lot of those posts and was like, oh my god, that's so relatable, so I liked them a lot. I hope I didn't spam your notifications too much with that. But yeah, I am in the autism spectrum as well. And as a fellow autist, I felt that. Oh man, oh Faris. I'm shaking my hands with you, even though you can't like see it with my model. Let's go, autism gang! Oh yeah, the SK fandom might have its own nonsense, but it's way, way chiller than any other fandom. I agree. Like, I don't know what fuckery goes on in the Shaman King fandom. I have adopted like the behavior that I tend to do for the majority of fandoms, which is like find a few friends and not really engage with it otherwise. Except like maybe in Samsho and Freedom Planet in a way. I'm pretty comfortable engaging with the people who come my way. And I wouldn't mind like interacting more with the fandom. But I think I would say that even more for Samsho because it's FGC. So you can't even play with these people. Now for Shaman King, at least I felt like I think that's the one fandom recently, aside of the FGC, where I've made several of my recent friends. Like FGC, Samsho, and the Freedom Planet would be the three things. Sorry, FGC, Shaman King, and Freedom Planet. Sorry, I said Samsho instead of Shaman King. Would be like the three main fandoms where I like got friends from. I'm trying to get more involved in the VTuber community on the side, but I consider VTuber community not really a fandom, but more like a whole community itself, right? I think the VTuber community, at least by virtue of it being the way it is, it's far different than a fandom. So I don't really count that in. I mean, there's obviously a fandom for VTubers. But when you want to network, you're more bound to be less fandom-y, if it makes sense. Agreement, yes, Autism Gang, rise up, let's go! We are taking over, and my nose is closing up. A nose spray into my nose. Give me a second. Since I'm up. Alright, I'm back. Okay, I need to fix this part. Okay, a bit better. I think the majority of the day I spent on just the shirt. Damn. to be like that sometimes. This is why I'm thinking about increasing my commission prices for pixel art, because PC98 like screens, which I'm doing right now, take like so much time. They take me longer than like a full illustration, and I'm like, damn, how the fuck? It's looking great. Damn right, it deserves to rise their prices. Thank you. I might as well just do that. Whenever I look at my commission page, I'm like, should I lower these prices or something? Are these fine? And then I'm like, actually, no. I need this. Western Lofi. No, my cat is here. Lofi. Yeah. She's here, so obligatory. Oh, she sat in front of my tablet.
I need help!
Yes, I need help. Thank you, Vegeta. I need help. My cat is blocking my tablet.
Hello.
Oh, I see we have another visitor. Hello, Ed. How you doing? My cat is blocking my tablet. She's like smack dab in front of the screen tablet. Damn. Why you do that? What you doing? You can't hear her, but she is starting to purr. I wish you would turn towards the mic and not have her back towards the mic so that you could hear her purr. Yeah? Purr into the microphone. Okay, I think you can't hear her even if I make her sniff purr into the microphone. Yep, she's sniffing the microphone, nothing's happening. The noise cancelling is too good. I set the noise cancelling and I finally stabilized my mic a little bit in sound. It can still get better, but it's much better than it was before. It's hard, but your work deserves a well paid. They absolutely do. The only reason why I'm hesitant is because when it comes to sales, I always have difficulty. Like, currently with my imprint, Redbubble, and Gumroad and all, I've had no sales yet, so that does weigh in on me a little bit when I'm like, oh shit, are my prices too high? What if nobody buys anything? But at the same time, I'm like, I need to get my foot off with better prices, otherwise I'm going to be stuck with an audience that doesn't want to pay me well. Come chat like the alien. Raise your prices. I will. I already increased my prices a bit. Absolutely need to serve the roof over your head. I do, yes. Give me your commissions. It's in my website. It's in the about section. It's all in the about section.
Nani?
But yeah, one thing that I'm definitely increasing the price of is these pixel art. Way longer than a full colored rendered picture. Like, holy crap. I'm already charging like 100-ish for a half body. But I might give it a flat fee because even for a bust, it takes long to get a decent shot. But yeah, considering what I just said earlier in the stream, commissions might open, if I'm lucky, within February still, but otherwise it's going to happen sometime in March. You just need more marketing to get it out there. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I am trying to grow my audience via TikTok, because I get the feel Reels and TikToks kind of get you quicker growth depending on what you do. So that's currently what I'm doing right now at this very moment. To be honest, I've actually kind of gotten into it. I do enjoy doing these video edits. Which is why I'm still waiting. I'm still impatiently waiting for my pay from my job. Which they are still overdue on. Because I want to get something to hold my phone so that I can record shit. Because I've noticed holding it on my hand is ass. It's ass. And I want to have like an overhead thing to make it easier to film stuff. Like drawing on my screen tablet. And I'm going to make like a video of me unboxing my Asus Pro Art monitor, which God knows when it's going to arrive. I've only ordered it today, so God knows it comes sometime this week or later. Because I've also been watching a lot of videos on how to grow on TikTok and Instagram. Twitter, I've kinda am like, okay, Twitter is memes. Twitter is just memes and posting regularly. And hashtagging and trends and all that. I'm more confident in growing on Twitter, but otherwise, so I'm putting kind of that attention on TikTok. And whatever I make for TikTok, I post on YouTube and Instagram Reels. So it's like, I make content for one platform that works for two more. The right people will pay. Exactly. This is why I'm trying to stay firm with my prices, because I know if I charge cheap for my commissions, it will be harder to charge a bit higher, or at least I'm going to be stuck with a more cheapskate audience and do like more work for less money. And I'm like, I've already done this in my former job. I don't need to do it again in a medium and like style and place where I have more control. Marketing. I just woke up to having no power and getting it back. That is a lot of energy I need to burn, so I will now yeet RTs on my TL. Of your stuff. Oh damn! Thank you. Thank you for that, Ed. Oh man. Now that I have more time to actually draw shit, I'm trying to build a backlog so that I have stuff scheduled and that like posts more a little bit regularly, especially because I'm going to get my mom visiting me this week and she's going to stay until next Saturday, so I'm like getting shit done. I'm loving the new trend on Instagram on where the dialogue of the video, it's like, I have no time for this nonsense. Here's what I'm working on. That's actually something that I've been recommended of by a lot of these videos. They're like, you don't have to make like a complete time lapse or a special elaborate video. It's more than enough if you just do like, if you're like, hey, I'm currently working on this. It's not finished yet, but follow for more, basically. And I'm going to start doing that as well. Especially because there are times where I'm not able to finish something on time. Like, for example, this right now. I already started making some shots. I still need to edit a little bit. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I want to make a remake of my VTuber introduction video. Because the last time I made mine is about... It's like 2 years old. And I've evolved a lot as a VTuber until then, so I really wanna update that sheet. True, show your work in progresses and cheese. Yeah, I think I will do more of that, especially on Instagram in real form, because it does work. People apparently like to see you scribble away, and I might make use of that. I mean, I will make use of that. Like, the video that did the best on my TikTok thus far is my my video of working on my pixel art alerts. And I'd have to check how my horrible sketches TikTok is doing. I'm not insulting my sketches, by the way. That's just the name of the trend, where the audio is like the guy going, here are the horrible sketches behind my art, and then has like the Vine boom with the Wii Shop music. I felt the need to add in the caption of the video like horrible in quotation marks, because I don't think my sketches are horrible. I think they're pretty banger. They can be chaotic sometimes, especially on the pixel art front, but I think my sketches are pretty banger, you know? I don't think they're horrible. I also added in the description, like, I think my sketches are actually pretty fine and banger. But what do you think? Something else I've been considering, like just doing it as a hobby, eventually was making an Instagram/TikTok for anime merch collections like mine, because I like collecting anime merch a lot. So I like collecting figures and merch. And I just considered that. I might not actually do it because I don't really spend that much money on anime merch anymore and figures. But it was in my mind, and I was wondering if that's something that I could do TikToks for. Because the only thing that I would think of not doing it is because it would be like, what if that account gets more interaction than my art account and people are just interested in seeing me review anime stuff? Although, honestly, that would be bad, but I want to focus on art, on anime art and not anime merch. Unless it's mine. Unless it's my merch, you know? Maybe I'll just stick to like occasionally posting reels and TikToks saying like, hey, I got a new anime figure. Woo! And I think that works just fine. I don't need to make a separate account for that. I just am going to embrace the chaos, you know? What I did say earlier on the stream that the majority didn't catch was I was musing about the idea of making a mini video series about like let's design an OC, or more like introducing my OCs and like my design process behind it. I was just going to make like tiny real like videos, right? So just quick introductions on characters and whatnot and how I designed them, or more like, hey, let's make a Sonic character and I just design one. I'm not quite sure about this idea, but it's been floating somewhere in my brain. And I just wanted to get that out there. I think I could do the same with designing outfits. That would kind of work. But more art process videos are definitely like in my pipeline. In before you people. Yes, I would make one if I could. My art is bad, LMAO. Then why you posted my guys? This isn't my this isn't DA, correct? In DA I was even more daring. Like, I am glad that I re-embraced that part of my DA identity. Tiki! Now you're blocking the whole tablet, thanks. Boy. Either you stay in the room or you leave. Can't have both. Kiki, what you doing? Oh, now she is sitting in front of my tablet again. She wants attention. Let me try now. I'm not sure if the people are hearing her purr and go into the mic. No, I don't think so. Kiki, what you doing? ¿Qué haciendo? Huh? Why you blocked my tablet? That would be a revenue, but it's still a bit, they might ask for like buy all the things. Pretty much, yeah, that's one thing about reviews. If I would have to buy things to review. More personally, I'd prefer to do like the Huion reviews and the XP pens and the like. Mostly because it just means free updates, you know? Like if Huion approached me and was like, hey, do you feel like making a tablet review? I would be like, sure, send me like a 24 canvas. And then I'd have basically a free update. And she opened the door again. Leave that door alone. I closed it for real. Honestly, I would post more work in progresses more freely if I didn't have to worry so much about people asking about their commissions all the dang time, despite there being a Trello for their update. That's the worst ever. That is the worst ever. Like, people who constantly ask you for commission updates, don't even check Trello or progress pages. I'm like, oh my god, couldn't you be more annoying? I hope I don't get clients like that often. Yike. Like, asking for updates is fine if I haven't done anything. But I think a lot of people forget that for an artist nowadays to make a living or like to have like any kind of revenue or make a living of their art, they need to post regularly on social media. They have to. Like, it's also work. Sometimes it's tough to de-stress, but people often forget the part that, hey, we're posting so that the algorithm doesn't delete me, you know, while I'm working on your commission. And sometimes I want to de-stress from work. And people who don't get that, I'm like, then you shouldn't be ordering art to begin with, or you should pay a rush fee. For me, I am so lenient with commissions. I don't want to toot my horn or anything. I might be a little too lenient because I've gotten ripped off for it before. But when I commission something, unless it's been like half a year or like a whole year of complete radio silence, then I might ask. But no, most of the time I don't even bother to ask because I like it when the commission is a surprise, you know? I like the idea of waking up and seeing a commission lying there unexpectedly, you know? I think the surprise factor is a fun part of commissioning. If it's something I need a deadline on, then yes, I would say, hey, how's the progress? If there isn't anywhere where I can see it. But otherwise, people who ask that often are kinda unbearable. I'm like, my guy, I get it, you want to have an update, but it's right there. I haven't continued yet. Can you please be patient? Like, I am sorry that I'm not a machine. exists. Client, when's the next episode? Pretty much, right? It's so... That's probably like the one part of the commissioning process I won't look forward to, or even in the casual sense. It's a part I won't look forward to when I'm finally publishing like any of my visual novels, like be it Crimson Threads or like my Magical Girl RPG project, or Where the Star Steers Dry and its spin-off. I think one of the most insufferable aspects will be people asking me, "When's the next chapter?" And I'm like, my guy, I was just in the bathroom. I just tweeted how I was in the bathroom. What do you want from me? The chapter was published yesterday. I'm kind of glad the Umineko fans who follow my VODs almost religiously, which I'm very grateful for, by the way. Even if I just complained on the stream about how, while I don't engage with the Umineko, a reason why I don't engage with Umineko fandom as much as I should is because of the mansplainy ones that I get in my comments sometimes. Like the anime fan that's like, you are not reading this correctly. But I'm actually happy that they don't haggle me like, when's the next episode reading or when's the next VOD upload, you know what I mean? At least you're patient and wait. Like, I don't think I've ever once received a comment or like a message from someone asking me, when are you continuing with Umineko, or like in my other VODs asking when's Umineko. What some of them kind of ignore my other VODs, which understandable. YouTube is a much more interest geared platform, so I don't really hold it against them. But what I can say is, unlike many fandoms and many others, they don't go into your new drawings asking when's the next, or like new drawings or new VODs unrelated to Umineko or whatever. They don't go like, when's the next Umineko episode? I know you're playing PTSD, but when's Umineko? And I'm so grateful for that. Airplanes aside, I'm grateful for that. And since the time I addressed how, like on a VOD, how I don't like how the whole mansplaining angle was getting a bit discouraging, and like it's mostly subsided by now. There are still some people sometimes who feel the need to explain me on reading Umineko correctly, but it's mostly subsided. So if any of these people commission me, at least I'll have the hope that there will be someone who will be asking me 24/7 for an update. Especially because I'm planning to work, like, still a full-time job on the side, right? Like, still just on 30 hours, but still, like, my job, right? So I can work on commissions 24/7. This is why now bus commissions start at 100. Ed is tired. Hell yeah, let's go. That is so correct. 100 for a bust is more than fair. Let's go. I totally support this. And also, they don't take into account that some artists also work on 9 to 5, and sometimes I want to draw my characters kissing. Exactly! I felt that so much. Sometimes I'm not feeling well, and I want to draw just my characters hanging out and being romantic or whatever. I don't want to be working 24/7. Like, vacations exist for a reason, my guy. Vegeta, I need help. Yes, thank you, Vegeta. I didn't even listen. Oh, I think the blurbs might be off. Hold on. Let's put it a bit louder. Okay.
I need help!
Yep, now I heard it. I think I need to fix the Vegeta blurb. Because the others are fine by volume. Things haven't gotten to that point for me, but I expect that they will when I open Bright's commission. Oh no. I hope you don't get that kind of Commissioner Farius. I'm crossing my fingers for you. I think it's great that they enjoyed the content, but it can get a little unbearing. Yeah, it can. In the Umineko case, it can sometimes get a bit unbearing because I'm like, you guys are only here for Umineko and nothing else. That's kind of discouraging. But at the same time, better than nothing. Some even stay, which make me happy that they stay for my content. It's probably because they care more about the content than the person providing it. Yeah, Tej. That is the most sad thing ever, and it's actually something I don't understand, to be honest. Like when I follow an artist or a YouTuber or something, I mostly follow because I like their style of the content rather than the content itself. Like, maybe the content itself is what brings me to the person, but it's not what makes me stay, you know? Like, many artists whom I follow switched over to Genshin Impact, and I could care less about Genshin Impact at this point in time. Asterisk on at this point in time, because many people are like, you should play Genshin Impact, and I'm actually kind of curious. But at this moment, I could care less about Genshin Impact. And many artists that I like, they draw Genshin Impact stuff, and I remain because I care. I like their art, and I care about the person behind it. I mean, care in the sense that how I would care for a friend is a little bit different, right? I appreciate them. I appreciate them. I think that's the best way I can describe them. So, when, for example, people unfollow me, for example, because I don't draw, either because I stopped drawing Freedom Planet fan art, aside of just the fan content that I currently draw, and almost just that, or if I stopped drawing God knows what anime fandom I was into, I'm always a little bit disheartened because I'm like, so you didn't really even like my art, you just like the content, and that kind of sad. And I never understood why that was a thing. I'm not dissing on people like that, by the way. I'm not dissing on people who unfollow for a type of content. Sometimes I unfollow people because they make content I vehemently dislike. In which I'm like, I don't care if I like your art, I can't stand this content, so no offense, I'm unfollowing you. But normally, when that happens, it tends to be people I'm not friends with. Or never really talk to, so I'm like, yeah, okay. But usually my main drive for following a creator is normally the style of the content they do, rather than exactly the content they do. Oh, I just saw the stretchy stretch and the stay hydrated. Thank you, Tsuki. Let me spread. Do a little bit of shoulder stretches. And to stay hydrated, let me take a sip of my salt. I kind of need to keep it while it's still warm. Oh, that's much better. That's a much better sip. Ah, okay, let me continue. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much just describes the side of an audience I still have. I felt that. It reminds me of the reviews I used to get on my ED fanfics that I published today. And then some were like, when is the next chapter? Oh, Eternal Dragons, you mean? That I published the day, and then some were like, when is the next chapter? Fam, I'm dying in college, please understand. Oh my god, I always hear of these horror stories of fanfic authors who are like hecking dying in somewhere, and people are like, when's the next chapter? When's the next chapter of the visual novel? Sorry, of the fanfic. I know you've uploaded it like a second ago, but when's the next chapter? I always hear of these horror stories, but I personally never had to have that yet. That I remember, at least. Oh jeez. I used to try to write fanfictions when I was younger, but unfortunately I lost so many. I still have the Naruto fanfiction I wrote when I was 11 written in a notebook. That thing is like my holy grail, and I want to make a dramatic reading out of it someday. Oh. I just realized I was in a kinda position. How dare you diss my waifu Moan? I'm joking! Oh no, please! Do not diss Mona, otherwise we're going to get pummeled. When I follow artists, it's usually like that too. You could be drawing anything, but if your art is cool, you are also cool. You will have my follow for basically forever. Pretty much! That's pretty much how it is for me. Unless the artist draws something that I absolutely can't stand or stand by, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a deal breaker to me, I'm leaving. But that rarely ever happens, you know? The times where I unfollowed an artist because they posted something after I followed them that I didn't enjoy was only once. This year only. Last year, maybe. I can't even remember. Maybe it was one. but I hardly ever get cases like that, so I hardly even mention them. Because usually before I follow someone, I check their whole gallery, like a chunk of their gallery, to see how they're like. Art-wise and posting-wise, and sometimes even like personality-wise. I kind of don't care. Most artists don't really check. So most of the time I tend not to follow people who I can't vibe with. My criteria is usually, your art cool? I follow. And that's it. One fear when I draw the tube. I admit I follow too many people and feel bad when I unfollow, but I've had to ask myself who I'm actually interested in following, not just what. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's a fair question. And I don't think you have to feel bad about that. If you're not interested in what they're drawing or doing or whatever, or what the person is posting, then by all means, just unfollow. It's not bad. Because at the end of the day, the one who curates your feed and what you see is up to you, right? When client, where's the next chapter? Oh, I left it on campus. Hang on. Oh no. Oh my god. Thank fuck this has never happened to me before. It has happened with homework though, where I forgot it at home. So like, where's your homework? And I'm like, fuck, I forgot it at home. How dare you follow them? They draw fire emblems. Oh my god. I do follow some artists who do fire emblem art. And I don't care very much about fire emblem. I did play Fates and I think Symphony of the Dawn or something. The second game from Ike Saga with Sophithia, I think is her name. But otherwise I don't really care about Fire Emblem, but the art that comes out of it is pretty banger sometimes. OST kind of banger, to be fair. I agree. There's like some themes in Fire Emblem that I still really like. From Fates even. There's two tracks in particular that I remember that I really like. If there's one thing I can say about Fire Emblem, the OST never hecking misses. There's some theme, like the themes that they put in from Fire Emblem and Smash are pretty banger. Like I like the one I think it's called Attack or something. Let me see. I need to look that up. Um, okay, let me see. Is it this one? Yeah, okay, I found it. It's called with Mira's Divine Protection. I think that that track is one of my favorites. And of course, the Fire Emblem theme that they had from Melee is pretty fucking banger. Like, the trumpet guy in that theme was going off. I was like, damn. At least I think it's a trumpet, but whoever is playing the instrument going off in the Fire Emblem theme from Melee, they were going feral. I'm like, I'm just a tear sheds from my eye, and I just want to say, go off, trumpet guy. Go off. I've been with Fire Emblem for many years, and Engage is something I look forward to. Engage is a new one, right? The one with the... sorry if I describe it this way. The toothpaste hair protagonist? Echo's version of that song is great. Road Taken from Fates is sweet too. Yes, absolutely. I think one of my favorites tracks from Fates... what's it called? Shit. What's it called? But it's the one you have in a cave when you fight some ninjas. Fire Emblem. Okay. OST. Yeah, right. It's called Justice Rip. Justice Rip is probably my favorite Fire Emblem theme, like one of my favorites. Definitely in my top 5. The Storm version especially. Trombone version, trombone champ version for that when. I hope someone makes it. I will play trombone champ finally if they finally add that song in. And some others. That's the one. Toothpaste Chan is great. I hear a lot of the things about the game is very good, so I'm very curious about it. I mean, I'm gradually curious about it. I'm not sure if I would play it. I might. But I definitely am interested in at least checking it out. Like watching VTubers play it, kind of thing. Right now, my hands are full with Hajime no Ippo and DMC to play Fire Emblem Engage. God, I just said Hajime no Ippo and already the first opening is already looping in my mind. Stop. Stop. I can't keep listening to I want to dive lost the mind. I want to dive lost the mind. I want to wait, fuck. I fucked it up. It's I want to dive lost the lost fuck. Yes, I want to dive lost the mind. I want to dive lost the mind. Why? I want to die feeling over. You say no. God, how can I not? I really want to cover that song. That opening is just too catchy for me. I want to cover it. And I don't even know if I have the voice for it. I just want to. Definitely getting the game myself sometime. I've seen several people play it and it made me want to try it out. The only thing I know about Engage is that the characters basically have stands of previous Fire Emblem characters. Like there's one who has Ike, one who has Marth, and so on and so forth. One that has Sophia, and it continues. And the first thing I thought was, are they using like JoJo stands? This was the first thing I thought of. I'm gonna just watch Tuba play it. Same. I want to die. No, the song doesn't go, I want to die. It says, the song says, I want to dive. It's just when you say, I want to die, I've lost my mind. You say, I want to die on accidentally, I guess. Like, there's a lot about, I want feeling, I want feeling. I want feeling, I want feeling. It's too much. God, I can't. Otherwise, I'll start singing again, and I can't. It's like 10 p.m. I can't sing. I'll wake up the neighbors. But seriously, Hajime no Ippo is so good. I can only recommend it. Like, for people who are like, oh man, sports anime, not interested. I'm like, Hajime no Ippo is kind of banger. Is super banger, I will say. Like, I was saying how I don't normally like sports anime because they're kind of boring for me. They're not very hype. Blue Lock, I'm not going to count in the sports anime that I like because Blue Lock is not a sports anime, it's a death game. And Haikyuu is otherwise the only sports anime I do enjoy. Discounting Oliver y Benji. I described Hajime no Ippo as the fights are being very intense, the art style having aged extremely well, even though it's like some 80s anime might not have aged well in the eyes of some people. I think most 80s, 90s anime aged very well, unless your Chargeman can. But the trash has a charm factor, you know. But Hajime no Ippo's art style, I would say, is one of the better ones in the 90s. And it's like Madhouse animation, so what's not to love? At least Madhouse when they were still good, I guess. I'm not sure what happened to Madhouse these last few years. I haven't really watched any of their anime. But Hajime no Ippo is like one of those animes where I would say this is like 90s, and yet it still has more fight animations than modern anime. And the fights, like I said early in the stream, they are sometimes even more intense than a Dragon Ball fight. And people would be like, what? But why? It's so realistic. It doesn't have the super intergalactic stuff that happens in Dragon Ball. And I'm like, precisely, that's the reason why I think Hajime no Ippo's fights get really intense. Because they're so grounded in reality. And like, it's boxing. If you try to make a sports anime with boxing and didn't make it hype, then something is wrong with you. And I'm saying this as someone who doesn't even watch boxing as a sport. My only like engaging with boxing as in anything was just in Tekken with Steve. Other fighting games, but I don't remember right now who boxes, but Steve Fox is the only one that is in my mind. Yeah, let's see. The Corone is into boxing. And I think that's about it. Because otherwise I don't really watch boxing. Oh yeah, Punch-Out! Sorry. I never played Punch-Out. Sadly. But I do want to catch up on it. Especially the Wii edition. But I have seen playthroughs of it. Especially the Game Grumps one. And that was, yeah, my only exposure to boxing. Because otherwise I'm like, I could care less. And then I'm watching Hajime no Ippo right now, and I'm like, what the fuck? This shit's banging! And I'm really liking the art style of Hajime no Ippo as well. Like, I'm in the first season, so it's like still cells. And I'm like, oh my god, I want to have some of these frames framed in my wall. They are so pretty, and even in between shots are so good sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck? This is a 90s anime, and they're so banger. Like, even Dragon Ball has had episodes where we were like, where's the budget? Sailor Moon, especially in the first season, I noticed a lot where I'm like, oh shit, they reuse a lot. There's barely any fighting happening. I'm not saying it as a bad thing, you know? I'm saying it as, oh, okay, I see its series beginnings. And they are reusing frames because they have to save money. That kind of way. But Hajime no Ippo, I feel like, doesn't hold back for a late 90s anime. Madhouse looked at this punching manga and was like, let's put some real fucking shit in it. And they did it, and well, let's say it's probably one of my favorite sports animes now. If one of the only ones I like. Plus the OST is very good, and I'm always a fan of when OSTs are good. Nuclear take. 80s look better than... Okay. Nuclear take. 80s look better than some things that came out like a year ago. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. A lot of 80s anime looks better than most modern anime nowadays. Like, a lot of modern anime nowadays, I'm less impressed by, art style-wise. Oh my god, I'm mad about an anime I wanted to watch that I absolutely was in love with the art style and the animation, but the content was just like boring. I was like, okay, I could live. I don't need, not as in, this is bad, I don't want to handle this, but more like, it's not my thing, personally. The premise wasn't interesting enough is what I'm trying to say. But otherwise, the art style of that one anime was like, it's so extremely cute and pretty, but the content is just boring to me. What's it called, the anime? It's the anime where the science sister turns her brother into a younger, like gives him a female body, let's put it that way. What's it called again? My older brother is now my younger sister or something. It's called the anime. And I thought the art style is very good. I like it a lot. And I did watch the first episode. And I was like, yeah, some parts are cute, but I wish there was some more stuff going on here. Other than just anime trope after anime trope. And I'm not even saying like bad anime tropes. It was just, oh yeah, okay, it's a premise that I've seen before already. Although if people come to me later saying it's actually much better than the first episode makes it out to be, I might give it another shot. But yeah, animes like that who look super good in modern age are relatively few. I got a knack for boxing. I actually used to train in a gym a few years ago. Oh, for real? Then all the more reason for you to watch Hajime no Ippo. I can guarantee thus far, the episodes I'm in, all the characters use real-life boxing techniques and don't like pull some shit out of their ass. Like, oh, I have the super mega ultra laser fist. But it's just like, oh wow, this guy has really cool hooks and this one has really good flicker jabs and all that kind of thing. Punch-Out good. They need to port the Wii game to Switch. Oh my god, please. I want to play it. I mean, if not, then I'll just play it on the Wii, but I want to see it on the Switch. I would even play it on stream, maybe. I threw someone into an Iron Gate grade 1 in middle school. It was great. Most anime moment I had. Oh, I remember you telling me this story. It was very, very cathartic to read. QV, you have a banger looking anime you want to watch, but you realize it's animated using Microsoft PowerPoint. Oh, you mean fucking Shaman King remake or what I was afraid the Tokyo Mew Mew new remake was going to be. But thank fuck it has some animation. There was one episode where it looked absolutely ass, but the rest was alright. Was pretty solid. I think, yeah, Crystal. Crystal falls into that category hard. The beginning of Dragon Ball Super was pretty ass, quality-wise. Or quality-wise, and I think most people already know the memes. I'd have to think harder. Remember which animes out there are pretty or quality-wise that are modern. Other than the common ones. I'm low-key scared that Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts is going to be just low budget. It's a shoujo manga that I've been waiting to be adapted for a while now. So I hope they, like, yes, Sacrificial Princess is not really about the action fantasy, but it does have action fantasy elements, and I hope they don't PowerPoint their way out of it. That would be so disappointing. It's especially disappointing when you are keenly aware that they on purpose don't put Bouget on shoujo anime because they're like, they feel it doesn't sell. So they make the quality, they don't give like Bougets for it on the get-go. You would say, maybe ask, well, but we have My Dress Up Darling and Komi, who look extremely good. They're surprisingly apparently not shoujo. Like, My Dress Up Darling especially surprises me that it's not shoujo because it has some shoujo aspects on it that I like. Okay, sure, it has like a bit of fan service, but it didn't feel like the standard shonen that I'm used to seeing. So when I heard that My Dress Up Darling was shonen, I was like, wait, what, really? I think that they might do it on purpose, say that it's a shonen rather than a shoujo, because they know the shonen market sells better. So that's why they also get a better budget and reception. Which is fair. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to sell, right? To get a good budget. But yeah, that's a thing that I noticed in a lot of anime-related things. They just don't put budget in shoujo anime anymore. And I'm like, so sad. Tokyo Mew Mew New is probably the standard at the moment, like the highest standard. And that's more like on mid-tier, I would say, like mid-tier animation. Although some episodes are pretty banger. Some shots are really well animated. More so than Crystal. I would say it's more quality consistent than Crystal, for example. I was more happy with it quality-wise than I expected. But let's see. Sailor Moon Eternal apparently had a shit budget, and I was like, how? Sailor Moon, how do you not have a budget for this? Berserk stays high. Oh my god. Berserk 2016 is I think an anime that's like banned in my household. Like, if I bring it up to my boyfriend, I think it's like I would be taking a knife and stabbing it into his heart. He loves Berserk very much, so 2016 I think was a huge like insult to him, which I understand why. Sometimes marketing has to take priority, but it doesn't hurt to push those boundaries. Yeah, exactly. I think kind of the same. Especially because of a result of that, my Dress Up Darling and Komi Can Communicate got pretty good budgets as a result. That's not really a high bar to be HQ. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but shoujo anime doesn't really get much. I mean, nowadays we don't really get magical girl anime, and I don't follow the shoujo genre as much, so I don't know what's going on. I just know that currently, before we started watching everything else, my boyfriend and I, before he moved in, I was watching Fushigi Yugi. And I thought it was relatively solid quality-wise. It was a 90s shoujo isekai. And I thought the plot was interesting, the characters were interesting, a little bit too fast for my taste, even though it's like 90 episodes apparently. But I suppose the real heart of the story happens past the point where they rush in the first 10 episodes. But quality-wise, I think it's pretty solid. For a 90s anime, I guess. He loves Berserk. I'm so sorry. He deserves something better than that. Right? Oh man. My boyfriend, I don't think he'll ever recover from that. That was especially bitter to him. Oh, let me see something. That's what I was looking for. Already probably went in length about how I feel about the Shaman King anime and Higurashi Sotsu in my previous stream. Oh, my previous art stream, I went off about Higurashi Sotsu, holy crap. So I won't go into it again. Not 2 streams back to back. Especially because I extended my Shaman King remake rant today on today's stream. But more like how I feel like they fumbled the climax really hard in the anime. Like, the remake, I mean. But otherwise... There's a bunch of like 80s, 90s anime I want to catch up to. Like Slayers I haven't watched yet. Magic Knight Rayearth I haven't watched yet. There's like so much that I still have to consume. And a lot of it is of art that I like. Because of the art styles that I like. Like for example, Yu Yu Hakusho. I really want to catch catch up on. I've never seen it in my childhood, like, ever. I think we didn't have it in Portugal and neither in Germany, that I know of at least. And Yu Yu Hakusho I really like from the aesthetic and art style, and I like the premise. The whole spirit detective thing. Now, before anybody asks me why I would want to watch Yu Yu Hakusho and not Hunter x Hunter, please don't take it personally, but I don't like the art style of art. I know it's the same artist, but I don't like the designs of Hunter x Hunter. I just don't. They just don't mesh with me. Would I maybe give the old Hunter x Hunter a shot? Probably not. While Yu Yu Hakusho, I like it aesthetically, I like it premise-wise, and from what I hear from my boyfriend who watched Hunter x Hunter for like hundreds of episodes, he really doesn't like it. And it kinda just solidified my decision, and yeah, I'm not watching this anime. The only character in Hunter x Hunter I'd ever be interested in is maybe Kurapika, but otherwise it doesn't speak to me, and I'm not going to force myself to watch an anime that doesn't speak to me. I've done that before and it doesn't end well. So Yu Yu Hakusho I definitely want to catch up on, because that one speaks to me. I like it aesthetically and I like it design-wise a lot. And premise-wise. What's some like 80s, 90s anime that the chat here recommends? I'm very curious. I might have asked this question on a previous stream, but just to remember what the recommendations were. So currently I'm watching Hajime no Ippo with my boyfriend. He's rewatching it while I'm seeing it for the first time. And we're going to continue with Sailor Moon after we're done with Hajime no Ippo, which will take a while. But after Sailor Moon, I was wondering what I could watch. I was thinking Cardcaptor Sakura maybe, because it kind of came about around the same time Sailor Moon did. But I'm also tempted to watch Precure with him and see what other 80s anime are out there that I can enjoy. I hear a lot of people recommending Tenchi Muyo, but I've never seen or heard it before, but I do like it from art, at least. And one more thing, Yuppie, probably. Yes, that is me about many things. Like I said, the Shaman King remake anime, I'm fine with it existing and I don't hate it. I don't even flat and don't dislike it. I'm still happy about several things that they did. The OST is like fucking chef's kiss. And all of that. And like I said, maybe at the end of the day it's the friends we made along the way, because I wouldn't have made a lot of my recent friends without the Shaman King remake. But Sotsu Higurashi Sotsu is one of those things I'll probably be like, and another thing. That one I won't recover from. There's no positives in Sotsu for me. I heard Ray Earth. Yes, you did. It's one of the animes that I'm interested in checking out, and I have seen it has games on the Nintendo and Sega and the like, and I want to catch up on those games as well. One of the reasons I want to do retro streams is to catch up on a lot of underrated licensed anime games from the SNES and Genesis era. Some that I personally missed on and others that I actually did play. I watched Hunter x Hunter. It was all over the place, but was quite a few interesting moments. I see. I did hear that Hunter x Hunter is very all over the place. My boyfriend was actually particularly pissed off about it, actually. But it's good to hear that you enjoyed it in some parts. I personally wouldn't like an anime all over the place like that, so... Not a recommendation, but I'm considering Gundam Wing if I commit to anime. Oh, Gundam Wing is one that I've been thinking about as well. I think that's the one where the one meme came from. Let's see. Yep, it's that. Oh, Gundam Wing, I only know about that one scene that's a meme where like the girl gives the main guy an invitation and he rips it apart and then wipes her tear and is like, I'll kill you. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I asked my boyfriend and he was like, oh, that's Gundam Wing. I was like, that's a Gundam? Whoops. Not like that. I don't want to block out everything. Let me see what other animes people have recommended here. Yes, thanks for reminding me of that one. Tenchi Muyo is one of the shows I wish I had grown up with. Ah, man. Tenchi Muyo I think we didn't have in where I grew up in, and neither in Germany. So it's one of those anime that I didn't really hear of until I was more active in the internet. Although I did watch the OVA where they made one of the magical girl one of the main characters into a magical girl. What's her name? Sammy? They made like a magical girl OVA with Sammy, and I think they also even made a magical girl spin-off with Sammy, and I actually kind of want to catch up on that one. Sasami, yeah. I've seen like the OVA of it because it was part of a magical girl transformation OVA I had watched. Sorry, AMV I had watched when I was younger. So the transformation sequences that interested me in that AMV, I went to look up the anime. I think the animes were all listed in the video's description. So the transformation sequences I liked, I went to check out the animes they were from, or OVAs. Sorry, that was my alarm. And thus, I ended up checking a bunch of obscure magical girl anime. Like, I found out about other Precure seasons thanks to that. I found out about Prettier, which I haven't watched yet, but I really need to. Princess Tutu I still have to watch. Hecking damn. I found out about Utena This Way, which is like my all-time favorite anime ever made. And I think Mermaid Melody I also found that way. Sasami happened to be among that. Let's see. There's a bunch that I still have to catch up on from that AMV. Like Wedding Peach, I did have in my childhood, and I've seen a few episodes, but not as much as Doremi and other magical girl anime like Sailor Moon and the first Precure season. Although the first Precure season I watched barely anything from. Kamikaze Kaito-Jan was one I really liked when I was younger, and I really want to rewatch. And I want to read the manga of. Then there's Corrector Yui. That one I want to catch up on as well, because I think we didn't ever have it. I want to catch up on Super Piggy Girl again. That one I did watch when I was younger. Fancy Lala I also watched when I was younger. I want to catch up on that one as well. Even though I hear it ends very abruptly, I still kind of want to rewatch it. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed energy. Pretty much. If I gave someone an invitation and they ripped it and then they told me they'd kill me, I first of all, I'd ask them, what did I do to you? And then... But I also would do the same if I was disappointed at someone. That's me receiving any letters from my ex-employers. In the future, if I were to get anything from them, I would just rip it apart and be like, I'll kill you. But not literally. We shall take this as a literal threat. My entire existence is a death threat to my enemies. I want to strive for that kind of existence. I think I'll only finish up some parts of the hair and then I'll call it a night for today. Video evidence of why I would charge so much more for pixel art, PC98 like pixel art comes, because I've been here on 3 hours and I'm still not finished with one character even. While normally for a full rendered art, I'd be just about finished by now. Maybe I'll even start working on my Valentine's picture day tomorrow so that I have it done guaranteed. Because this one, I even want to animate it a little bit. That's going to take so much time. What am I missing? This part. Oh, stretchy stretch. Yeah, let's do that. Oh. And hydrated. I want to open Sprite and just mess around with Pico 8 palette. You should do that. I would encourage you to do it. Just do it. I've never had so much fun in my life in pixel art since I touched Sprite. This is like the pixel perfect pixel art software. Like, I wouldn't want anything else in life. The only issue I have with Sprite is that the zooming could be a bit better. And the preview window would be nice if I could shove it like on the second monitor instead of having it like on the main screen. Just want to do the highlights on that part, and the shading of the hair I'm going to leave it as is right now. And once I have that done, the highlights, I'll call it a day. I just wanna erase them a little before I go. Nope. Okay, I think I'm going to leave things like this for now. I'm pretty close to finishing at least one side. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'm even able to finish it this week, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to tackle my Valentine's picture next so that that's done on time. Alrighty. Let me switch over to the main screen. Just a sec. Okay. Before I turn off my tablet and before it borks up my VTube Studio window like it always does when I turn off my tablet, I'm going to see if there's anybody I can raid. Ow! If anybody I can raid. Okay. Not really. So I will leave things as is for now. Not even gonna. I'm not gonna do a just chatting portion today because my throat is retired, and I need it tomorrow. I need it tomorrow. And because I also want to start getting prepared to go to bed. I think I streamed and been up for a while. Let me just check the schedule again. Okay, so Thursday I have Baba Is You. And then the next week I don't have anything planned because my mom will be visiting, so I likely won't be streaming on that week. I'll be on like a 1 week break, but I'll try to keep posting things and reels on that time. And the schedule after that, I'll probably be posting it sometime on Sunday next week. Or Monday at latest. Okay then. Thank you guys for coming, and I hope you all guys have a good night. And I'll be seeing you on Thursday with some Baba Is You. Bye bye!